The Last of Us Season 2 is finally here, and I, for one, am very excited. I love The Last of Us Part 2. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I can't wait to see what the showrunners do with the material. Now, Season 1 was obviously a smash hit, and like I said, I'm expecting Season 2 to be another smash hit, to be honest. With the source material, it'll be kind of hard to mess that up, but we'll have to wait and see. In preparation for Season 2, though, I have some questions, theories, and even some predictions to posit to you in this video. So stay tuned and we will get into those predictions, theories, and questions. Now, I want to be abundantly clear, though, that I will be spoiling The Last of Us Season 2. I played the games multiple times and I know what's going to happen for the most part. Now, I'm sure they will change a few little things here and there. But this video is not safe if you don't want things spoiled for you. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to click off this video. Okay, you've been warned and proceed as you see fit. Now, the first question I have is regarding the timeline. So if you played the game, you know that after the prologue, Ellie goes to Seattle, and then the whole game revolves around 3 days in Seattle. You first play through the 3 days in Seattle as Ellie, and then later it's flipped on its head and you play through those same 3 days as Abby. This was very impactful in the game because you see the same set of events from different characters' point of views, and it really warps who's good and who's bad in the story. And I really enjoyed it because when you play through the first 3 days as Ellie, all you know from the people that you are killing is that they were with Abby when she killed Joel. So obviously, as a player, all you're worried about is taking these people out and getting some revenge. But then at the midpoint, when the game flips and you start playing as Abby, you get to know these people and it really humanizes them after you have actively murdered most of them as Ellie. But it made for some really interesting questions that I asked myself while playing the game. Like I said, it kind of flips the dynamic of who's good and who's bad. It really depends on which side you're on, which is always a fun concept to mess with, and I really liked it in this game. However, I don't know that they can do the same thing in the show. It doesn't really make sense to me to just go through one character's POV, especially for the fact that the season is about 7 episodes, I think. So that would mean, just based off timeline, that the whole the second season would be going through Ellie's 3 days in Seattle, and we really wouldn't get a whole lot of Abby, which doesn't make sense narratively for a TV show, I don't think. It certainly could be done, but I just don't think that's the way they're going to go. If I had to make a prediction on the timeline, what I think they will do is kind of lay the two on top of each other. So I don't know what that'll look like. I assume we will see Abby and Ellie a lot this season, which would indicate to me that we're not just going to run through Abby's 3 days and then run through Ellie's 3 days and then not see Abby at all. Another reason the timeline ripped straight from the game wouldn't make sense to me is because Ellie would be essentially the lead for the entire second season, and then let's just say that we did get through her 3 days in Seattle. It would then flip to Abby for Season 3, and she would be the lead for the entire season. Now, this would be an interesting concept because it would essentially be that each season has a different lead. Season 1 being Joel, of course, then Season 2 being Ellie, and then Season 3 being Abby. But I don't know. I don't think that's how they're going to go. What I think will happen is that they will lay the timelines on top of each other, essentially. So we'll see things from Abby's POV as well as Ellie's. But I really don't know because the season isn't out yet, so we'll just have to wait and see. But again, my prediction is that they will not do it like the game and have the 3 days with Ellie and the 3 days with Abby. My second question for Season 2 of The Last of Us is how long is Joel going to last? As we know, Abby does kill Joel in the prologue, and I just wonder how long are they going to keep Pedro Pascal around as Joel? My initial prediction was that Abby would kill Joel at the end of the first episode. I thought it would just make for some really gripping television there at the very end. So I figured that they would run like a longer episode on the first one, maybe like they did last season with an hour-and-a-half opening episode. But now seeing the runtime, I don't think that's going to happen. I checked and the runtime is like under 60 minutes. I think it's like 57 minutes for episode 1. And I don't think that's going to give enough time for the story beats to develop in order for us to get to Joel's death by the end of the first episode. My prediction is that he will make it to the second episode, but I don't think he's long for this world past then. I figure we'll be in Seattle probably by episode 3 or so, but we'll just have to wait and see. Another reason I think Joel will make it past the first episode is because they have Pedro Pascal. He is an A-list actor and they want to use him as much as humanly possible in this season. And so I just think that they'll hold on to him as long as possible. Now, of course, there are some flashbacks that he'll be involved in later in the season, but again, I think he will be around for the whole first episode and a majority of the second episode. My third question for season 2 of The Last of Us doesn't really involve any story beats. It's just a question, I guess, best way to put it. Are we going to get more voice actors from the game playing roles in the show? I thought it was really awesome that they put the voice actors from the first game. A lot of them were in the first season, which was really cool. I mean, just off the top of my head, you know, Troy Baker obviously is Joel, Ashley Johnson as Ellie, and then Merle Dandridge as Marlene. It was really cool to see them in the show because it just kind of gave them their flowers. You know, they're the ones who built this IP essentially off the backs of their work. It's cool that they get to be involved in the show in a little way, but it's still impactful. Now, my question though is, are we going to get some more of that in season 2? Are we going to get a Laura Bailey who voices Abby in the game? I think she would be amazing in the show, and so I'm hoping to see her. Also, Shannon Woodward, who plays Dina in the show. She's HBO family, of course, from Westworld. So I'm hoping to see some Shannon Woodward in season 2, but we'll just have to wait and see. So my third question is, are we going to get some cameos from voice actors in the show? My last question for season 2 of The Last of Us is, are Bella Ramsey and Caitlin Dever ready to step in and be the leads of this show? I personally think they are, just based on the fact that while I haven't seen Bella Ramsey as the lead in anything that I can think of off the top of my head, I still remember Game of Thrones. And if you've seen Game of Thrones, you know that little Lady Mormont punks all of those old men in the room. So Bella Ramsey is clearly able to step into the lead role, even as far back as Game of Thrones, but also thinking back to season 1 of the show, they are able to step into the lead. The episode that comes to mind is the flashback episode where they're in the mall and Ellie gets bitten. Bella Ramsey does a great job in that episode, so they are clearly able to step into the lead role for a whole episode of a TV show, and I don't see any reason to indicate that they won't be able to do it for an entire season. Caitlin Dever, though, is a little bit of a wild card. I personally haven't seen her in anything that I can think of off the top of my head, but I've heard really great things from other shows that she's been in. So I'm personally willing to give her the benefit of the doubt here, and I'm sure she'll do a great job. Another reason I'm so confident in these two actors is because of Craig Mazin. He's the showrunner on The Last of Us. He also did Chernobyl, which was another one of my favorite shows, and he's built up a ton of goodwill at this point. So if he believes that these are the two actors that can lead this show for the second season, then I trust him. Further, I'm excited to see Bella Ramsey and Caitlin Dever really take up the mantle and make this show their own. Those are some of my questions and theories going into season 2 of the show. Will they come true? Won't they? We'll just have to wait and see. Before we get out of here, I just want to say thank you so much for watching today. I know this is a little different than the normal type of video I do, but this is a nice intersection of TV and video games. If you're interested, I do stream on Twitch on Tuesday and Friday afternoon. Please come on by and hang out. I will be kind of recapping and just going over my general thoughts of each episode on Tuesday after they premiere. Now, if you're not interested in Twitch at all, but you still want to get the recap / just general blabbing about the show, I'm going to upload them to my YouTube channel so you won't miss anything if you want to just subscribe, and then they'll be right here for you. But regardless, I hope you all have a beautiful time, and I will see you all in the next one.